Hi, I'm Katie Couric. Welcome to Eye to Eye. Barry Scheck has been using DNA evidence to help free the wrongfully accused for nearly 20 years. Today, his Innocence Project celebrated the newfound freedom of Jerry Miller, its 200th exonerated inmate. Scheck talked to our Bryon Pitts about the case and his work with the project.
What's really amazing is that when somebody is exonerated, innocent, proven for a crime they didn't commit, and they get out of prison, that person has fewer immediate social services available than a person who is guilty and gets out on parole.
Explain. How does that happen?
Because in virtually all states, there is no provision for immediate emergency services. What our clients need when they get out of prison after having served 10, 15, 20 years for a crime they didn't commit, and that's what the numbers are, right away they need some emergency services. They need a place to live. They need a physical by a doctor. And then, of course, they need counseling. They need some way to deal with this horrible tragedy where they just steal all these years from your life, and then everybody else has moved on and you're back. Even reconnecting with family and friends is extremely difficult. Even in close-knit families, it's very, very hard. There's this gap on your resume, there's this gap in your life, there's this gap in development that represents the time you spent in prison.
You have a young man who spent 20 years in prison, now comes out as a grown man, who's never had a relationship with a woman, never had to balance a checkbook.
Well, and doesn't know what a cell phone is, doesn't know what that's all the things that have advanced so quickly in modern life that we, in our everyday experience, are not even used to it, comes as a shock to so many of these people. But when they're in maximum security prisons, it's not even what happens to them. It's seeing murders, rapes, violence in front of their very eyes, having to live with that every day and defend yourself against it. When you get out, you're still reliving these things. I haven't met a client yet, no matter how strong spiritually, psychologically, and physically, that does not have some form of post-traumatic stress disorder. It's virtually impossible.
You can take the man out of prison, but not the prison out of the man.
Well, you can't take that experience. That experience happened. It's psychologically so devastating. It's akin to the worst kind of natural disaster, or in a sense, torture. I mean, because people who are wrongfully convicted, they're not in prison thinking, well, I committed a crime, I really have to come to terms with the terrible thing I did, I'm paying my price to society. These are people that are being actively harmed by society. An injustice has been done to them, and then in order to somehow get on with your life, you have to find it within you to transcend this, to forgive, right? To let go of the bitterness, and to put aside all the terrible memories and things that you've seen in prison, and somehow reconnect with society and move on. I defy anybody to do that.